Shalom, shalom. Kahala Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rachakwadash. Yahweh being the true name of the Father is the word and calls God. Yahushua being the true name of the Son is the word and calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the apostle and elders of great millstone who taught me this truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect and to the brothers that's pushing this truth and sincerity, risking life and freedom to do so. And shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and learning. This is your brother Labah coming at you with another lesson in truth. And we'll get into this good times Jesus, man. So, this was a very popular, episode or whatever that went into the description, you know what I'm saying? And this kind of was I guess the symbology of this was the representation of most of our people, you know what I'm saying, with that good time Jesus as being the so-called white man. And that's a lie. We're going to see where this image really came from. And you see how people, you know how people is. They love saying the name Jesus. That's all they know, out of their own ignorance, man. And when you tell them better, you tell them, where that comes from, they get a lot of times offended because they're comfortable in these lies. And a lot of times they don't even know it's a lie. They don't know the so-called white man has put these images up to destroy them and keep them in serving other gods and idols. But you see how she's looking at him. She adore, pray to this thing, and it's just a representation of most of our people, man. You know, and your great grandmother down to Big Mama, your mother, just people in your family. When they think about Jesus, which they think about him, this image pops in their mind. Like when you say Jesus, boop, that image comes up right there. All right, let's open up with the first scripture. All right, let's go to Job. Salakia 13:4. All right, this is the book of Job 13:4, and this is the so-called white man. But ye are forgers of lies, so they forge this lie. You know what a forgery is, all right? Ye are all prescription physicians of no value, right? So they forge this lie, man. And what is the lie? That this is how the Messiah looked. And see how people are able to get over that hurdle that he wasn't a so-called white man, right? But they still call him the name Jesus. They say, well, I know he wasn't a so-called white man. He was a so-called black man. But out of their own ignorance, they still call that name. That name comes with this image. That's how important it is to drop that name, right? And we know it takes time, but we've been set up through the power and spirit. Yahweh Shem Shah to wake you up, all right? So let's see where this image comes from, because everything has an origin in life, all right? This image just didn't pop up one day out of thin air. It was created. So let's go to the source. All right. So as we seeing right here, all right, this is who this man is. Caesar Borgia. This was actually a real man. All right, we'll get into who he was and how did they get this image. You know what I mean? Because this was drew by Leonardo da Vinci. You ever heard of this painting called the Mona Lisa? And the Last Supper, he drew both of those. He was a so-called white man, a devil. And with this artwork, they've been able to deceive the whole world because they passed that image on through the whole four corners of the earth, man. And that's what everybody think of, right? And that's what you praying to, an idol. You actually praying to this man here, man, which is an idol. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, and you see how they do this process, right? And this is a iconoclastic. All right, this is a person who destroys religious images or opposes their veneration. So you see what he's doing. And the Bible said that these devils was going to do that. They was going to change the image of the true Messiah into a so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? So let's go pull that first scripture. Salakia. Let's go. And this is the part of the Bible called the Apocrypha that they took out because it's so condemning. And it points out a lot of stuff that these devils did. All right. First Maccabees 3:48. All right. This is the book of First Maccabees 3:48. And laid open the book of the law. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white man. All right, the book of law is the Bible. They painted all the patriarchs of the Bible. The Messiah is so-called white man, Moses. And Moses was mistaken for an Egyptian. He was standing among the Egyptians. Come on, man. So on and so forth. Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian. These were so-called brown to dark flesh men. And they whitewashed them. We're going to get into how that works. Wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images, So they wanted to paint people that look like them. So they took the Messiah image down. So this is how one of the old paintings, how he looked. You know what I'm saying? This was an old painting before they started doing this heavy whitewashing. And you see, you see him being a so-called black man, the 12 disciples being so-called black men, just before they whitewashed it. So let's get into some more on this. And this is a real painting. You see that? So let's get back into this. So this was a great deception to deceive the whole world, and they succeeded at doing this. All right, by joining this man and having our people worshiping and praying, and they blood, sweat, and tears going to this devil. All right, and you see what he done right there, and you see the image that he's copying. Is he joined a so-called white person, and this is the brown flesh person, which more than likely is going to be the Messiah or one of the patriarchs of the Bible that he's whitewashing. All right, the devil, and devil means deceiver. All right, whitewash. Let's get into that. Whitewash. What is that? So that's what they have done to a lot of our antiquities, man. A lot of our artifacts, they broke noses on them, they destroyed them, or simply whitewashed them. A white liquid that is a mixture of lime or powdered chalk and water used for making walls and ceilings white. So what does that mean? So when they would go into find these artifacts, they would go destroy them, and they would use this chemical solution to lighten the skin tone up, and so they could look like so-called white people. So how you get this image here? Well, we know this guy named is Caesar Borgia. Let's see how they did this. We're gonna get the painter too. Under the power of the Catholic Church. There you go. Pope Alexander the Sixth. All right. Pope Alexander the Sixth decided that he would have his son Caesar Borgia used as the model for the Jesus in the paintings that the Da Vinci was commissioned to do. So this Leonardo da Vinci, these paintings emerged between 1502 to 1503. So that's when this stuff was created, and then it was pushed through the four corners of the earth. And what they would do, they would go to these different places to so-called colonize. Well, we know what that means, to destroy the people. They would push the image on them and make them accept it. And if they didn't accept it, they'll put them to death. Facts. And then once you brainwash the kids, they indoctrinate their kids. It's a wrap, man. You know. So this the devil. This the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. All right. So let's go here. We're gonna go into who Caesar Borgia actually was. All right. So we went into the image. That's him right here. Right. You see clear as day. That's the same image that they drew. And we're gonna show you the connection from Caesar Borgia and Leonardo da Vinci, who painted that. So let's go to this devil, Leonardo da Vinci. All right. This is that devil here, Leonardo da Vinci. All right. Edomite, so-called white man. Only they would do stuff like this. You know, Leonardo da Vinci was an Italian polymath of the High Renaissance who was active as a painter. Jump down right here. Leonardo is among the greatest painters in the history of art. They deified this demon. You know what I'm saying? Because the work he did with that image, he's been able to deceive the whole world. Let's go into this another image he did. And this the Last Supper. We just tying everything back. The Last Supper, right? Look at the artist, Leonardo da Vinci, and look at the Messiah being a so-called white man and disciples being a so-called white man. Going to this. Look at that. Whitewash. They whitewashed this in other paintings, All right. And it's a woman actually in this picture to his left. That's a woman. This is the Borgia family right here that he painted. The Borgia family. So Caesar Borgia actually had brothers and sisters in the family. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of power. So he paid this devil to paint him as the Messiah. Let's go prove the connection. All right. There we go at the very top. Borgia and Leonardo. All right, let's get into it. Caesar Borgia briefly employed Leonardo da Vinci. There you go. There you go right there. All right. Before meeting Caesar, Leonardo had worked at Milan Nice court, whatever that say, for many years. All right. So yeah, they go to connection right there, man. So that's how they was able to get these images, that you got today. And this devil, he actually painted the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa. Let's go back. Let's go to this one, Salakia. Look at that. Look at this, man. This women clothes, man. You see how they did a Messiah, making him a so-called white man, right? And the scriptures say he had hair, wool, and skin of brass like it been burned in the furnace. This is a so-called white man. This is a great deception. So this Jesus character that they created is an idol. You know what I'm saying? Artist, Leonardo da Vinci. You see the connection. All right? Look at this, man. Look at this. This is crazy. The Renaissance means rebirth. All right? They did the Mona Lisa, which is actually a real woman. But you see these devils try to make this like Yahweh mother, or Jesus' mother, Mary. But this actually was a real woman. So he's known for doing this kind of stuff. Noble woman, Lisa Garotti, something like that. All right. This is one of the most expensive paintings in the world. So this is when this great deception was done. So let's go pull one more scripture. And we was warned about this, that this was going to happen to deceive our people. And most of our people still believe these lies. All right. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 11 and 4. All right, this is the book of 2 Corinthians 11 and 4. For he that cometh preaching another Yahushua, so this is another Yahushua, that's Caesar Borgia. And what does it mean for he that cometh preaching? So that'd be this whole church system, man. This whole image and this whole doctrine that God is all love, Jesus died for the world. That's what the doctrine is taught in Christianity. And it trickles down to every religion on the face of this earth for the most, right? And then go your Christian church, your Pastor Joe Osteen's, T.D. Jakes, you know what I'm saying, down to your local hustler church pastor pimp that's teaching at a small church, man. This whole web go deep, all right? So this is another Yahushua whom we have not preached. So this ain't the image that we know of, or if ye receive another spirit which ye have not received. So this is another teaching, another spirit, man, or another gospel. So the gospel will be the good news for the Israelites, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. This is a new concept they invented, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him. So yeah, man, this is all these false prophets out here that's pushing this Christianity vibration that went on for so many years, man, and has destroyed our people's minds. All right? So this good time Jesus, man. And most of our people, they get really offended because you're making them uncomfortable in their lives, man. They want to continue to believe these lies. It makes them, they're like, I don't want to change. This is all I know, right? And it's going to lead to their destruction ultimately, all right? And you see it right here, man. This is most of our people. It's just the way they is. It's just the way they see it. You know what I'm saying? If you got eyes and ears spiritually to see, I just broke it down to you so you're able to understand that this is a complete lie. All right, call Halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Shalom.